What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the North Shore 9 post-game show powered by Primanti Brothers. I'm Jim. With me this Sunday afternoon is Cody. Cody, how are you doing this Labor Day weekend?
You know, it felt like a labor to watch this game. I did a lot of laboring watching this thing.
Yeah, it was I thought it was an entertaining game until it wasn't.
Right.
and then even when it turned a little sour there in the fifth inning, there were still chances. The Pirates had plenty of chances in this game to make up for the mistakes that they made in that fifth inning, and they just couldn't overcome those mistakes. The offense, it was bad defense for that inning, and the offense just simply wasn't able to execute in the opportunities that they had to overcome those mistakes. So they dropped this game 5-2 to the Boston Red Sox. So I think this was a sweepable series. Like Mitch Keller was on today. He delivered. I thought really he looked really good his last outing, and I thought he looked really good again today. And there was one inning where the defense just collapsed behind him. And he gets tagged with the loss despite not giving up any earned runs. So we'll dive into that. But yeah, I think this was a winnable game. Like I said, defense didn't come through. Offense also didn't come through. Pathetic game offensively for Henry Davis. Just not coming through with runners in scoring position multiple times. I think he left 3 men on base there in scoring position. He was 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. The Pirates didn't collect a run with runners in scoring position today. They were 0 for 5. So yeah, rough game, but we'll get into it. I guess if it was rough for the Pirates, but Ryan did finally hit one of his locks of the day presented by Fanduel. He's been betting against the Pirates here recently.
The jinx is over.
Yeah, he won today.
You can't force a jinx on every game there, Ryan. I know what he was trying to do, but it just doesn't work that way.
Do you think he was trying to jinx them, or do you? I don't think.
I think he puts up behind the scenes. He puts up a front to us that I'm just gonna jinx it. But I don't think. I think in his head he's like, I'm gonna win. But
I think if you ask him how he was doing, like he knows that he's not doing very, very well.
Exactly.
Anyways, let's talk about this one. The first 3 innings kind of flew by. Both pitchers were rolling. Both offenses weren't really doing a whole lot. Lucas Giolito threw, I think, 7 pitches in the first inning, 13 pitches in the second inning. The Pirates neither team was able to really do anything against either pitcher the beginning third of this game. It wasn't until the top of the fourth when the Pirates finally got to Giolito. Spencer Horwitz leads off the inning with a book roll double. Just a little slap to the opposite field. And with the way Fenway is, it just kind of bounced over the fence there. But then the inning starts to unravel a little bit. Tommy Pham flies out. Spencer Horwitz gets caught. Like, he's picked off. So the inning started off great. And then next thing you know, there's nobody on base, 2 outs.
Right. I get, they explained on the broadcast what Horwitz was trying to do there. He caught Giolito in a rhythm, right? And he was trying to, grab a base on the rhythm. Giolito's, he's a veteran. He gets it. He knows there's a guy on second. I don't think there was a guy on second before that. So, like, how is Horwitz really going to know that that's what he's going to do with a guy on second? But I see what the intent was. It wasn't executed great, in my opinion. But yeah, he gets
Clearly.
thrown out. Yeah, clearly. Gets thrown out at third, but then, we make a mistake, and then Lucas Giolito's like, don't worry, I got you guys.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the Pirates kind of ran themselves out of the inning, but then he walks Nick Gonzalez, which is a feat. He walks Andrew McCutchen, which is a little bit easier to do. And then he walks O'Neill Cruz. So, like, he walks the bases loaded, and then Nick Gonzalez scores on a wild pitch. So, like, the Pirates did nothing really to score this run. Giolito basically just handed them the lead and handed them a run there in the fourth. And yeah, I mean, that was definitely a situation where, like, you would have loved to get one more run. Henry Davis had an opportunity, runners on second and third, 2 outs, and that was his first chance of the game to really to do some damage there, and he didn't.
Nope.
So that was unfortunate that they left that inning with just one run. But it was the bottom half of the inning that kind of left me feeling like, okay, you know what? I think we got some momentum here, because the one knock on Keller kind of forever has been like, you give him a lead and then he immediately gives it back up. But that fourth inning, Bregman singles to lead off the inning, and then he walks Duran. So you're just like, oh man, here we go again. We just got Keller a lead. He's going to give it up. But then Trevor Story grounds out on a nice play on a weird hop that Horwitz made. Keller did a great job of getting over to first to cover it. Then he strikes out low, and then gets Yoshida to ground out. So just an excellent recovery by Mitch Keller that inning to put up a 0. And I thought that was going to be the turning point. I thought at that point I was looking up hey, what funny things can I post like after the Pirates sweep the Red Sox this series? Because I was
Right.
like, I'm feeling pretty good about this. Like, that was the inning where things should have unraveled and they didn't. And I was feeling pretty good about this game after that fourth inning.
Yeah, no, I know before the game they did the little cheers intro for the game. They're going with the Boston theme. I know yesterday I had some friends who are Yankees fans that I sent them to "How do you like them apples? Raise it" that the Pirates posted. But yeah, I was in the same vein of like, what can I post that's funny? But then, the game keeps going, but we'll stick here with Keller. He was working the sweeper and the curveball a lot today, and it was working. And he was fantastic out there. Like we mentioned before, the he's usually the guy that unravels once a run is put on the board. He kind of, I thought this was him getting over the hump. Being that guy and being like, I'm not the same second half Mitch Keller.
Yeah.
And just, leave it to his defense to not help him out. The 4 unearned really puts a stinker on this start for Keller.
Yeah, and like I said, that's where, like, ultimately you'd love to not give up unearned runs. Like, yeah, you
Right.
want to be able to pick up your defense, but like the defense really kind of they messed this one up for him. I mean,
Yeah.
I again, Keller I mean, the final stat line here, 5 innings. He only gave up 4 hits and 1 walk. So that's a 1 whip, right?
Right.
Um, and I guess he hit Bregman too. So what, 1.16. But 0 earned runs, strikes out 7. Like you mentioned, I thought his placement of his pitches today, like, he had really, really
It's
good
great.
command. It wasn't necessarily that like the sweeper was completely baffling hitters like we saw his
Right.
last outing,
He
but
was
like
placing it well.
he was placing balls really well. He was getting a lot of called strikes, actually. He did get 11 swings and misses, but he also got 12 called strikes. And yeah, I mean, he was heavy fastball, sweeper, curveball today, mixed in. I mean, he used all of his pitches. I mean, but
Yeah.
it was the sweeper and the fastball that were kind of his main two there. And like you mentioned, I thought he did a great job bouncing back in that fourth inning. And I thought, all right, let's keep rolling here. I thought that was going to be sort of like a momentum shifter back into the
Yeah.
Pirates' favor. And the offense just couldn't really continue anything. They really were gifted the one run that they had, but they really weren't able to do anything after that. But in the fifth inning, that's when things kind of unraveled. It was, one pitch, ground ball right to Nick Gonzalez, and he throws it away. Nick Gonzalez comes into today's game with -9 defensive runs saved. That should have been one pitch, one out. Instead, he makes the error. Gonzalez is safe. And then, Rafaela flies out. So for one out, should have been two outs. Narvaez hits a ground roll double. So, that puts runners at second and third. Roman Anthony grounds out, and that's when Boston ties the game up. But that should have been out number 3. Should have never happened. Right. Run should have never scored. Inning should be over. Pirates should be up 1-0. This is where you would this is obviously where you'd like to see Keller step up and not continue the inning. But this is a really good Boston Red Sox lineup, and you sometimes can't give them more than 3. You give a really good lineup more than 3 outs in an inning, and more often than not, they're going to make you. They're going to make you pay. And Bregman gets hit by a pitch. Then Jarren Duran hits a quote unquote inside the park homer that Canario took a terrible route to, yes. And then he looked like he kicked it, and then Cruz couldn't handle it, and then he throws it into Gonzalez, and then Gonzalez throws it 10 feet off the plate. So it's it's an inside the park homer, 3-run homer, 4-1, and at that point you're just like, you got to be kidding me, because Mitch Keller had been pitching his ass off up to this point, and the defense just completely fumbled. It looked like fumbled the game away at that point.
Yeah, it was a really frustrating sequence of events because, like you said, terrible route by Canario. You have to cut that off. Even if you took that terrible route, it's going to be at least a double. You got to slide in front of it or something. He just kind of reached, and it was it's going to the deepest part of the park. You need to stop it, and he didn't. Luckily, Cruz was there to back it up, but Cruz doesn't usually have to deal with that kind of corner.
I'll say this: Cruz didn't do well. It was a failure on everyone's part.
Yeah, terrible by everybody.
I don't want to give anyone a pass on that play. Yeah,
but I guess my point is, it shouldn't have even gotten to Cruz. Canario should have batted it down somehow.
Yeah,
and it did.
Yeah,
and then terrible throw by Gonzalez, but I think he was just the plays. It's a home run anyway. But yeah, just the backbreaker on what was a really great start from Mitch Keller. You hated to see it. That was the point in the game where I threw my hands up. I was sitting here watching. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I was like, I'm just trying to watch a good game of baseball.
And it was a good, it was a good game up until
the Pirates pirated.
They definitely pirated.
It was so frustrating.
Yeah, I think I just tweeted out oh no.
Yeah.
Because anytime, that's one of those plays where it's going to be all over Twitter now. The MLB account's going to be all, check out this inside the park homer. And then it's just you're just seeing the Pirates just look awful the whole time. Yeah, but 4-1 at that point. You hope that with the offense doing a little bit better lately, that this wouldn't have completely buried them. And again, they had their chances. They had their chances here. Yep.
Yeah. I for one, it was frustrating in the moment. I threw my hands up, but I was like, they've been playing well recently. I was like, they're not out of it. There's a chance here. But then the game continued and they just kind of got shut down.
Yeah, but like I said, chances though. In the 6th inning, Tommy Pham leads off with a single. Andrew McCutchen, another walk. So you got two guys now on base again, facing Giolito, who really hasn't Giolito looked really good those first couple innings, but he was allowing a lot of base runners the last few innings of this outing. So Pham singles, Kutch walks, so the 2 old guys getting on base, and then O'Neal Cruz strikes out. Henry Davis strikes out. That was Henry Davis's last at bat of the game, and I want to take this opportunity to just talk a little bit about him. He's taken a huge step forward defensively, and I feel like we talk about this a lot. He's looked a lot better defensively. He calls a great game. Balls in the dirt specifically, I feel like he's really, really good at picking balls in the dirt.
Yeah.
He caught Duran stealing second on just like his pop time on that. I don't know what it was, but it was an excellent caught stealing by Henry Davis.
It was a
Like,
perfectly placed throw too.
yeah, like defensively, he has been awesome. Offensively, it's so bad. It's so bad. And like he just needs to be a little bit better than this. Like he's
Yeah.
even as bad as it is, like he's playable because of he's a catcher and like the defense is so good. But my God, like you're the first overall pick. I need something from you, Henry Davis. I need I need you to start hitting a little bit more. And so like if I've got one ask like this offseason, it's Henry Davis, like figure out how to
Yeah.
hit major league pitching. Because right now, if you throw him a fastball on the upper half of the strike zone, like he has zero chance of hitting it.
Yeah. I think I lost you. It says your mic's muted. There we go. Sorry. But yeah, I'm
sorry.
with you. Like, I'm gonna go with what what? I think your mic's a little messed up.
I said he has no chance of.
Right. So I'm gonna go back to something that Tyler said, I think last week, is that the work ethic and how far he's come defensively, and this may be taking Tyler's words out of context, but it's hard to bet against Henry Davis that he will bounce back from this. The way that he's improved his defense, you can only imagine that he will use this offseason to do the same with his offense. It's you don't want to give up on him. Like you said, first overall pick. He's a guy that you're leaning on because of that. He has that pressure of a number one pick. You want him to be the guy, a dude. But right now, we just want him to be average. Just put a ball in play. Like, just you make the other team work when you're at the plate. And he just hasn't done that. And I don't know if this is a true stat because of the person that tweeted it, but I think he's 0 for 41 in his last 41 plate appearances with runners in scoring position. And that's just not good enough. You gotta do something. And like I said, I'm not going to bet against Henry Davis. I see the work ethic. I see the hard work he puts in for his play. I want to say that he will be better next year. And it won't just be, spring training where he's always great. I think he will be an average hitter come 2026. Now, we got to wait till 2026. It doesn't help us today. But yeah, you just got to be better, and we need somebody to be better in that spot.
Well, an average hitter would be twice as good as what he is right now, Cody.
Right.
He currently is hitting 169 with a 242 on base percentage and a 290 slugging percentage. That's a 47 weighted runs created plus, which means he is 53% worse than the major league average when it comes to offensive production. So it's been rough. Like I said, he's taken a really big step forward defensively, but the offense has been it's been putrid, pitiful, terrible, whatever adjective you want to use. That's what it's been. And like he's played 100. This was his 171st major league game. So yeah, I'm not ready to completely give up on him. He basically is. He's a season in, right? And then catchers take a little bit longer because there's so much more that goes into playing baseball as a catcher. But he's got to start hitting more. That's plain and simple. I love him. I agree with you. I'm not going to bet against him, but like he's got to start hitting more.
And I mean, I don't want to go on a whole tangent about it, but the fact that when you brought him up to the major leagues, you wanted him to play right field, and now he needs to be your everyday catcher, assuming they do something with Joey Bart. My assumption is that they're going to have Henry Davis catch most of the games next year. But the fact that you took away from his development to try and make him a right fielder, which he wasn't, and make him focus harder on a position that he's never really played, I think that takes away from his focus of, I need to be a major league hitter. So that's where I give him the benefit of the doubt. It's in the development. The development wasn't focused on his hitting because they thought, he's a really good hitter in college. He'll figure it out. Well, college isn't the same as the major leagues. It's not just going to come to him. But we'll see what happens. Maybe it just takes another year and he'll get it. But like I said, doesn't help us today.
Yep, we'll see. But yeah, he ends up. Like I said, he strikes out to end the sixth, leaves those two runners on. The Pirates then bring in Colin Holderman, who's basically been a gas can, the all season long. He gives up a run in his inning of work. But I mean, I guess if Colin Holderman is going to be on this team, I mean, at some point you've got to put him in baseball games, and a 5-1. I guess it was 4-1 at the time. A 3-run deficit in the sixth inning is about as low leverage of a situation you can find. So he pitches the sixth, gives up a run, but I mean, single, walk, just your basic Colin Holderman stuff, basically. Seventh inning comes around. Alexander Canario, who plays like once every 3 to 4 months at this point, solo homer. So that was good to see. Crushed the ball over the green monster out onto the street, out of the ballpark. So that was fun. I guess it was like a fun moment. But then strikeout, fly out.
Yeah, and I mean, Canario went 2 for 4 today. Like, it's one of those things we've been saying it. Everybody here at North Shore 9's been saying it. When you play a guy once, maybe twice a week, he's not going to play well. You're not there's no consistency for him to have any sort of success. So when you do get a game like this out of Alexander Canario, you're like, thank God he's able to just be good enough to get us 2 hits, add on a home run for the cherry on top. But if he got more at bats, if he played more games, who's to say he doesn't play better? Because we don't know.
I don't know. I mean, he hasn't really necessarily done anything to deserve more playing time. I know it's tough to play well. It's tough to play well when you aren't playing every day.
Exactly.
It's kind of a catch-22, double-edged sword. I guess it's more of a catch-22 than a double-edged sword. Yeah. But like the dude, he never plays. And when you're not going to play somebody, he's going to play poorly. And so when you play him and he plays poorly, it's kind of to be expected at this point. I don't think Alexander Canario is a Major League Baseball player. I don't. I think I've seen enough of him to make that determination. He has a 607 OPS on the year, and he's a terrible defender. That's not a Major League Baseball player. So
that was proven today.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Pirates are not a great baseball team, and he's not good enough to crack the lineup on this team pretty much any night. So I think what I would just want them to do is, I think you got to pick a lane. Like if he's going to be on the team, you do have to play him every now and then. Mm-hmm. If you're not going to play him every now and then why is he on the team? Go get somebody, go find someone who you maybe will play every now and then. Because right now there's just, he just doesn't really serve a purpose for me if you're just not going to play him ever.
Right. And that's where I get frustrated with what they've done this year. They did it with your guy, Nick Solak, brought him up. He got maybe 3 at bats.
But he got 11. He got 11 at bats, but it took him over 3 weeks. Yeah,
exactly. And it's when you're playing a Major League Baseball season, 162 games, you gotta flip through some people through the lineup, especially if you're a bad team like the Pittsburgh Pirates. You should be giving everybody an opportunity to prove themselves. And it just seems like that's where I give Canario the benefit of the doubt, is that he hasn't had the opportunity to prove himself. Now, I know you say you've seen enough, and I'm sure you're correct in that assumption. But it's just
I always am.
Where,
I'm always correct.
Yeah. We get it. Whatever. But it's it's hard to say that, okay, send him down or keep him up whenever he doesn't even get an opportunity to do anything. So he was also the only player in the lineup today to have a multi-hit game. So,
Yeah.
you see flashes like that, and you're like, well, keep playing him, and then they don't, and then you're like, well, and then when he does get back to the lineup, he does nothing, and then you're like, well, like you said, catch-22.
Yep. Anyways, after that, Dauri Moreta comes in, scoreless 7th inning, so that was fun. Money Moreta back. He's back. And then the Pirates again in the 8th inning. Like I said, they kept getting these opportunities again in the 8th. Nick Gonzalez with a 1-out single. O'Neal Cruz singles. So now you got runners on the corners. O'Neal Cruz steals second. Brian Reynolds is batting at this point. He's pinch hitting for Henry Davis, which was a good call.
Great call.
Reynolds walks. So now you've got the bases loaded for the guy who we just spent 5 minutes talking about, Alexander Canario. And Alexander Canario strikes out on a slider 10 inches off the plate, swinging from Whitlock to end the damage. So just again, another inning where you had multiple people on base, multiple people in scoring position, and it's just thwarted. You get nothing out of it. That ended up being the difference. The Pirates really didn't take advantage of the opportunities the Red Sox gave them today. And that includes the 4th inning when they did score that 1 run. Like they had an opportunity to do more damage than the 1 run that they got. They were handed that 1 run. And again, they had opportunity for damage in the 7th. They had opportunity for damage in the 8th. They had opportunity for damage in the 5th, and they just didn't. I'm sorry, the 6th, and they just didn't take advantage of it. And at that point, you don't score in the 8th, so now you've got to face Aroldis Chapman, who is basically the most dominant pitcher in baseball history at this current moment in time. I don't think he's given up a hit in like 45 at bats, 45 straight at bats now. That's kind of stupid. That's almost 2 straight no hitters. Aroldis Chapman, he hasn't given up a hit since July 23rd. He's pitched 12 2/3 innings of no hit ball since the last time he's given up a hit. So
and Jim, I'm pretty sure he wanted to be a Pirate this year. Did he not?
Yeah, I'm not going to really get into that. I don't know. I think the Pirates probably would it have made sense to spend $11 million on a relief pitcher this year? Probably not. So I'm not going to fault them for not doing that.
No, I'm just rage baiting.
He's been incredible this season. And yeah, 1, 2, 3, 9th inning. Nothing there. Yeah,
that's your ball game, folks. It felt like a Sunday game. Like we said, like Jim said, there were moments in the game where it got exciting. It was fun, but it was a Sunday game. It was a lay back, sit back, watch. You're not going to get too excited type of game.
Yeah. 3-day weekend. So yeah, it should be a relaxing weekend for everybody. Hopefully you didn't get too riled up today. The Pirates already had the series in hand. They took 2 out of 3. This was Don Kelly's 100th game as a manager. So I think that's something notable. The Pirates are 49-51 in Don Kelly's 100 games, which I know that's not where we want to be. I will say it's a hell of a lot better than probably the previous. I don't know what the previous 100 games were under Derek Shelton, but
that's what I was about to say.
Hell of a lot better than that. And they've got a month left to go here and I think what I want to kind of drive home there is 49-51. It's clearly not good enough, but this has been a watchable baseball team for the last 3.5 months. They've been average. They've been an average baseball team now for 3 months, and they've been an above average baseball team for
last month and a half.
Yeah, for a good little stretch here. And I think it just hammers home the fact that if they can just hit a little bit, you don't have to be the best offensive team in the world, but they showed the stat before the game, they're scoring 4 runs a game now instead of 2.9. So right. That's enough for them to win most games because of how good this pitching staff is. And I kind of keep harping. If they could just put together an offense that's a 90, 94 weighted runs created plus, 95, a below average offense, they can they can at least make things very interesting. I think they could be a pretty competitive team. And the last, I mean, ever since the All-Star break, they've been playing pretty well.
Yeah, and I mean, this offseason is going to be a big one. Like you said, you got to add some offense. You got to at least get close to average for this team to be successful. There's some people that are possibly going to be available, who are going to be available, that they could go out and get that they didn't go out and get last offseason. I'd like for them to. This is just me putting my thoughts into the universe, but I'd like to see them take another shot at getting Tyler O'Neill. I know he hasn't had a great year this year, but maybe he has a bounce back. Maybe he's a quote unquote reclamation project that they like to do. Not that he's bad at all, but like, maybe he bounces back and he plays well for the Pirates. But, that's an off-season conversation. And to what DiNardo and Doug were talking about last night, there's, for the first time in a long time, there's a fight to see who the starting five is next year, who those five pitchers are going to be. It's going to be super exciting. You already have probably 2 spots locked up, right? Like, Bubba's going to be in there. Paul Skeens is going to be there. We don't know what's going to happen with Mitch Keller. He could be shipped off somewhere to get us a bat. But if he's still around, he's obviously in there. So then you really have 2 spots for this team to figure out who's in this starting rotation. And then you have a great bullpen from there. Because, my assumption is that a guy like Johan Oviedo may not be a starter next year. But then you have a great 2-inning, 3-inning bulk reliever in Johan Oviedo. And it's like this pitching staff is set up. It is set up. You just got to find some bats. And we've said it all year. You got to find some bats. I hope
they got to be better offensively. Yep, plain and simple.
I hope Ben Cherington hears all of us say this all year
long.
I
hope it doesn't matter what Ben Cherington hears, and I hope Ben Cherington's long gone. But
we all can hope that, Jim.
We'll see. We'll see.
I've come to expect bad things to happen with the Pittsburgh Pirates, so I can only assume he'll stay.
Yeah. Well, if he stays, there's no hope. So, yeah. So I mean, they take the series. They're off tomorrow, which kind of lame. Everybody should play tomorrow. I mean,
yeah, it's Labor Day. Nobody's doing anything. Watch baseball.
Everyone's off work. Everybody should have a day game tomorrow. Like, that's just how it should be. It's stupid. But Pirates are off tomorrow. So what that means is we'll have a Bucko Brew tomorrow morning. It won't be at 7 a.m. though, because I'm going to sleep in a little bit. So it's going to be at 8 a.m. We also have Nathan just posted a video that's live for everyone right now. And then we also have another special WNS9 Plus that with Director of Amateur Scouting, Justin Horowitz. It's up for members right now. It'll be live tomorrow night for non-members. So check that out if you're a member right now. If you're not a member, what are you waiting for? It's 99 cents a month, and you get some fun emojis to put in the chat. So I don't know what you're waiting on. And you get early access to videos like that. But yeah, the Pirates are heading home, facing the Dodgers, first place Dodgers. So the gauntlet kind of just continues. They're playing another really good team. If they can just win another series here, that would be pretty fun. The series shakes out. Let's see. How's the series shake out? It looks like Carmen Majinski is starting game 1, Braxton Ashcraft game 2, and then Paul Skeens playing facing Blake Snell on Wednesday. So Thursday. Looks like Kevin Gorman messed up the lines a little bit. Majinski versus Kershaw, Ashcraft versus Ohtani, Skeens versus Snell. That's what it's going to line up.
Well, let's see if Ryan can use his magic on Fanduel there to give us some wins against one of the most dominant teams in baseball.
Yep. Let's do it. Why not? Let's win 2 out of 3.
Why not?
Just keep winning 2 out of 3. Keep winning 2 out of 3. All right, guys. Anyways, hope you all have a really good Labor Day weekend. Again, Pirates drop this one 5-2 to the Red Sox. They move to What's the Pirates record now, Cody? 61-77 on the year. They're now 22-47 away from PNC Park, but they are heading home to face first place Dodgers Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Everybody, like the video, subscribe if you haven't. If you're watching or listening, you guys rock. Tell a friend about us, all that good stuff. And yeah, we got plenty of content here for you.
Yeah, should be a fun Monday full of NS9 content.
Love it. All right, guys. I'll catch you later. Enjoy your weekend. Peace out.
Happy Labor Day.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.